What's up, everybody? My name is Brad and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I talked about in my 2024 reading plans and goals for the channel, and that is the Read What You Own challenge. I talked about it briefly in that video, but I wanted to go a bit more in depth and talk about some specific books that I want to try to read for that challenge. So I started already at the beginning of the year, and I've read a couple books already, so I've checked off a couple. But for me personally, I know a lot of people do like 50 books, 100 books, or whatever for the challenge. That would take me like 2 or 3 years to get through all those. So I'm going to cut it down. This is just, geared for me specifically. But I think I'm going to do 25 books to read for the Read What You Own challenge. And for me, I'm setting the rules as they have to be books that I own, obviously, but they also have to be physical books. So I'm not counting anything on my Kindle. I'm not counting any audio books either. So this is all going to be physical books that I have in this room or somewhere else in this house that I'm going to read that will count towards this challenge. And I think I said I'm going to do 25 books. I can't remember if I said that already or not because it's late in the day on Sunday and I'm already kind of losing my mind. So 25 books is what my goal is going to be. Again, no Kindle books, no audiobooks, physical books only. And we're going to do this. And for me, the stipulations are I can't buy any new books, and I also cannot check out any books from the library until I complete the challenge, because I'm really bad about having all these books in here to read and then going and getting a stack of books from the library, and then these poor guys just sit around collecting dust for even longer and longer. So 25 books, only physical books, and I can't buy any new books or check out any books from the library until I complete the challenge. So it's going to be fun. Try to knock out some of these I've had sitting around for quite some time. Some are not. Some of these are pretty much brand new. Some I've had for a really long time. But I picked a couple books that I want to try to get to specifically for this challenge. And I didn't want to pick out all 25 books because I want to be able to just go and look in the pile and look on the shelves and just pick them at random as well, because I've sort of become a bit of a mood reader and just choosing whatever I want to read at that particular moment. But I did pick out about 5 books that I do want to try to read for the challenge specifically, because these are ones I've wanted to read for a long time, or ones that are sort of new that are really catching my interest. So we'll dive into these couple books that I want to read really quick. First up is The Loop by Jeremy Robert Johnson. I honestly don't know really much about this one at all. I did read the tagline. It says it's Stranger Things meets World War Z. So I think this one is more sort of sci-fi-ish with a little bit of horror mixed in, as opposed to just a straight up horror novel. And I can't remember where I got this copy at. I think I got it at Butcher Cabin Books. I don't remember for sure, but it's got a signed book plate in there, which is cool. So I wonder if this was new in the store or if this was like from a Nightworms package or something. I'm not really sure. But this is only like $5, I think, which is cool for a signed copy. But The Loop, I've heard really cool things about this book. I've heard really good things about his other book. I think it's called Skull Crack City, which I don't even know if is in print anymore or not. Not sure, but like I said, I've heard cool things about this one. I love this show, Stranger Things. I haven't read World War Z, so I can't speak on that. But anything that is close to Stranger Things, I'm probably going to enjoy it. So yeah, looking forward to checking out The Loop by Jeremy Robert Johnson. I keep wanting to say Robert was his first name, but Jeremy Robert Johnson. All right, that's the first one. Up next, I want to read, and this is one that I bought for, I don't know, I think it was around Christmas time or maybe Black Friday. It was on sale on Amazon, and I had to get it. This is Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Canas. I have her other book, The Hacienda, and this one, it's about vampires, so I was instantly drawn in because of that. But I love the cover on this one, with just the sort of the silhouette of the lady and the lightning in the background. I'm a sucker for a good lightning strike. That sounds kind of weird, but I love the look of lightning, especially on like a book cover or CD cover or something, album cover. I don't know much about this one either. I really don't know much about most of these, which is, I think, kind of a good thing. But this one is, it says vampires and vaqueros face off on the Texas-Mexico border in this supernatural Western from the author of The Hacienda. And it looks like it takes place in 1840s Mexico. So historical fiction horror, I'm totally down. I think her stuff leans a bit more into the romancy side, so we'll see. I'm not too much on the romance. But if there's vampires involved, I'm down for it. I'm really looking forward to this one. Again, I love the cover. The cover is my absolute favorite part of the book so far, obviously because I haven't read it yet. But this is Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Canas. Up next, and I saw, I don't know, the CBS interview or ABC interview or whatever the other day, like 5-minute interview with the author, and this made me want to read it even more than I already did. But this is All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I think this is kind of like a slasher novel, like crime slasher novel is kind of what it's being described as. Some grisly murders in this small town, a black sheriff, a serial killer, a small town ready to combust. I love fictional stories about serial killers. I don't know, just something about them is fascinating to me. And everyone's been saying that this book is fantastic, that it's maybe Cosby's best yet. I've only read Razorblade Tears from him. That's the only one I've read so far. I really enjoyed that one. But a serial killer novel from him sounds awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. This is All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. Now for this one's going way back, pulling an old book off the shelf. And this one is some fantasy. This is Dragonlance Chronicles Volume 1, Dragons of the Autumn Twilight by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. I'm a huge D&D fan. I honestly don't remember. I think I read this a long time ago, but I couldn't say for sure. My mind is a bit blank. But I do have this first one, at least as part of a trilogy. I do have the whole trilogy. It's a beat-up old paperback, which I'm reading Swan Song right now, and I'm really enjoying just reading a beat-up old paperback. I think that's my favorite reading experience, is an old paperback. As far as what this story is about, I don't know. I'm familiar with the Dragonlance setting from D&D. I'm a huge D&D fan and player. But as far as the actual plot, I don't really know what it's about. But I'm looking forward to finding out. And if I enjoy this one, I'm going to try to read the whole trilogy this year. We'll see. But at least read Volume 1. I love the old school art on here. I don't know if it'll focus or not. Old school fantasy art is just awesome. This is Dragonlance Chronicles Volume 1, Dragons of Autumn Twilight by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. And then the final book, so I've narrowed it down to 3 by the same author. I don't know which one I want to read, so maybe you all can help me out and tell me which one that I should pick. So I've got 3 here from the same author. They all sound really good to me. I'm having trouble selecting which one. And this will be my first read from this author, so you all let me know what I should pick first. The author is Ron Rash, and I've got Above the Waterfall, I've got The Risen, and I've got Saints at the River. So I don't know which one I want to pick, so maybe y'all can let me know down in the comments which one I should choose. And if there's not a majority, I'll just pick one at random maybe. But Ron Rash is David Joy's mentor, and I'm a huge David Joy fan, so if Ron Rash's writing is anything like David Joy, I think I'm really going to enjoy these books. It's all set in like North Carolina, Appalachian region, just like David Joy. And I think they're all kind of crime novels. What is this one about? Let's see. Poetic and haunting tale set in contemporary Appalachia. Author Ron Rash illuminates lives shaped by violence and a powerful connection to the land. That doesn't really tell me much, anything about it. I don't want to read more, though. I know Saints of the River. This one is about a girl who drowns in the river, and she gets caught up like underneath an eddy or a dam or in a deep eddy. And there's like big controversy about them trying to go in with like equipment and get her out because they think that'll mess up the river and stuff. So that one sounds interesting. And then The Risen, I know, is about 2 brothers, and I think like a love interest comes between them back in like the 1940s, I think. 1969. And then it's sort of flashing forward to when they're older, and they've kind of grown apart, grown estranged from each other because of what happened way back that summer with that girl who I think disappeared. I don't know if she was murdered or not. I'd have to read it and find out. But those are the 3. So again, The Risen, All Saints of the River, or just Saints of the River, and then Above the Waterfall. So you all let me know which Ron Rash I should start with, and out of these 3, and I'll pick that one. But that's it. That is everything that I had for the Read What You Own challenge. Again, I'm going to try to read 25 books physical books before I'm allowed to buy any new books or check out anything from the library. So we'll see how long this takes me to get through this challenge, but I don't think it'll take long. I'm excited to take it on and get it under my belt. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. If you all have read any of these books, let me know what you thought about them down in the comments below. If you're doing the Read What You Own challenge, I know a lot of people are. I think they started it like back in August of last year, August or October, somewhere in that date range. So if you're doing the Read What You Own challenge, let me know how it's going for you, or maybe you've completed it already and read your 100 books or whatever. But again, that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you for spending your time with me. Again, my name is Brad, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.